Imagine getting back 20 to 25 hours every single week. That is the core promise of no-code automation. You connect your apps, set a few rules, and the machinery runs itself. Until, without warning, the gears grind to a halt. At first, it feels like magic. You're offloading manual CRM updates, dumping repetitive data entry, and routing new leads instantly. You aren't doing the busy work anymore. But as your business grows, a hidden dilemma emerges. The exact same automated systems that saved you money in the early days start to become a massive financial liability. This happens because most platforms rely on usage-based pricing. Every single time the software executes a task or moves a piece of data, you get charged for that individual action. This graph illustrates the scaling trap. On the x-axis, we have your workflow volume, and on the y-axis, your platform cost. During your startup phase, the cost climbs steadily. But as your operations hit high volume, that linear cask pricing spikes violently upward. Look closely at this intersection. When your workflow volume crosses a specific threshold, the monthly cost of the software actually begins to outweigh the financial benefit of the human labor it originally replaced. Choosing an automation platform based solely on how easy it is to set up might feel right on day one. But if you ignore how that platform bills for its actions, it acts as a silent margin killer as your operations scale. This brings us to the two major players. First, Zapier. It is the pioneer of the space, trading on absolute simplicity and a massive library of pre-built integrations. Then there is Make. It operates as a visual, highly technical powerhouse, built specifically to handle complex logic and deep data manipulation. To decide between them, look at this split-screen layout. You are evaluating two conflicting metrics: speed to first value against long-term total cost of ownership. Total cost of ownership is the true price tag. It combines the monthly subscription fees, the hidden penalties for overages, and the actual human time required to build and manage the system. To make a safe decision, you have to look past your current workload. You need to evaluate how their underlying logic and pricing frameworks will hold up when your operational volume surges by 10 times. Zapier is built on a linear architecture. It relies on a straightforward sequence. If this trigger happens, then execute that action. It boasts a library of over 8,000 apps. This guarantees near-instant connections, offering the fastest time to first value on the market. It features an AI copilot that lets absolute beginners draft workflows using plain English, skipping the technical integration mechanics entirely. This diagram shows the limitation of a linear setup. When processing highly complex logic, that straight line hits a bottleneck of conflicting data conditions. Building workarounds forces you to create redundant steps. As those execute, your task usage counter spins out of control. Because Zapier uses a strict per-task pricing model, those extra steps cost you cash. The bill remains predictable during startup, but scales punitively as volume increases. Zapier's onboarding convenience acts like a high-interest loan. You get immediate speed, but eventually pay through inflated scaling costs. Make's visual drag-and-drop canvas replaces the linear model with a 2D nodal map expanding outward. It handles multi-path conditional logic, routing VIP and standard leads simultaneously from a single trigger. Watching data flow in real time lets you instantly isolate any point of failure. But there is a primary trade-off. Make requires a steeper learning curve and a foundational understanding of how to map data between APIs. Instead of per-task billing, Make uses an operations-based pricing model. It starts at a lower base tier and processes high data volumes with better financial efficiency. The main financial risk with Make comes from features like iterators. If you misconfigure an iterator, you can accidentally trigger massive spikes in your operation usage before you realize your mistake. Ultimately, Make requires a heavy upfront investment in learning and setup. In exchange, you secure highly protected, predictable profit margins down the road. Let's look at the actual mathematical cost difference. We'll use a high-volume benchmark for a growing small business, establishing a baseline of 50,000 automated tasks per month. At a 50,000 volume load, Zapier requires a costly high-tier plan, stacked against Make's significantly lower Pro tier. The reason is architectural. One operation in Make processes multiple data points simultaneously, while Zapier charges a credit for every piece of data touched. But there is a human caveat. The cheaper software platform still costs you money through the raw hours required to build, test, and maintain it. The definitive trade-off equation comes down to this. You pay for Zapier with your wallet as you scale. You pay for Make with your time up front. To decide, we use this decision framework based on technical aptitude and task volume. First, the time-poor absolute beginner. If you need simple, linear automations and have budget to spare, follow the left path to Zapier. Zapier's premium cost is justified here, as setup speed prevents lost revenue from operational delays. But for the budget-conscious optimizer, processing high volumes with complex routing to protect margins, follow the right path to Make. For this user, Make's steep learning curve isn't a downside. It is a mandatory protective shield for your long-term profitability. Calculate your total cost of ownership, not by what your business looks like today, but by forecasting what the software will cost when you hit 10 times your current volume.